Hello, dear prosperity practitioner. Hello, dear person of infinite value. It is I. 'Tis I. Brandon Hanley of the Prosperity Practice, the voice of a generation. If you haven't heard the fatherhood for the rest of this podcast, that is the intro, the voice of a generation, that I use there. Why not transport it for it? It's good for any occasion. It is good for any occasion. We are on day number 28. So very close to the end, but is it really the end? It's a practice. This is not a you don't finish this up and then let it go forever. You come on back and maybe you do it again. I don't know. But there's always more to it. I think this is a good practice for the getting comfortable with large amounts of money practice. There's all kinds of variations of what is necessary to truly practice all things in the prosperity, in prosperity, not the prosperity. But all the things to practice in prosperity. Being comfortable with large sums of money is just one of those facets. So, day number 28. You've just received $13 billion and miscellaneous change. Hundreds of millions of dollars of miscellaneous change. And that's what's funny is just how quickly it is that we can get comfortable with looking at millions of dollars being kind of small, right? We can now look at a couple $1 million as being pocket change, $100,000 as being insignificant, $1,000 likens itself to a penny, and actually I'm going to use this. A good friend of mine had mentioned expensive is similar to expansive, right? If you look at that, the more expensive something is, the more expansive the broader your terms are. These having a lot of money, something is expensive. You are more expansive. I thought that the two, at least when you put them side by side, just how similar they are to each other. And when you think of all these items and when you think of this money, you think of it as being expensive, or you can think of yourself as being expansive. How can I allow this in my life? What is a way that this actually works? If I expand my way of thinking, how can I let this expensive thing in? A little bit of wordplay there for you. Thanks for that one, Charlie. So, where are we today on day number 28? As we all know, with our words of encouragement, we have at the bottom of every email these words of encouragement. And today's first one is an affirmation. It's going to be, I am a magnet for money. Prosperity is drawn to me. I am a magnet for money. Prosperity is drawn to me. Drawn to me. Come to me. Just visualize it, right? Perhaps you're a money magnet. What does that feel like? If money was attracted to a type of magnet, what type of magnet would you be? It's interesting to even think about a magnet. If you hold it in your hand, if you hold like a really powerful magnet in your hand and you see things jump to the magnet and you can feel that item adhere to it, you can feel it clink to it. So if you were a money magnet, what would that feel like if money was just drawn to you and attached itself to you? First of all, it might get kind of weird as you're walking around and you walk into the bank, money's coming up on you, and you're like, well, I'm I'm not doing this. This is just I'm just a money magnet. The visual is kind of entertaining. But what does that feel like? And again, try to visualize it. What is that sensation? A lot of what we're doing, and I know that we've talked about it quite a bit, but it's really getting that sensation. The sensation of biting into a York peppermint patty. What is it that is in your visual when you say to yourself that you are a money magnet? A magnet for money. A magnet for money. This next one comes to us by way of Wallace D. Wattles, and it's as simple as it sounds. As simple as it sounds, when I first read it in The Science of Getting Rich, it just made such marvelous sense. It had such a revelationary impact on me. But let's look at it. It says, no one ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking about poverty. Right? Nobody ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking about poverty. We have charities out there. We give money out to those who are impoverished. Right? We figure out ways to keep people fed and alive, or how to get them the support that they need who are impoverished. But nobody's getting rich through that practice. People are getting rich by figuring out what it is that, cures somebody's itch for, right? What does somebody need that they can go buy? What does somebody need that you can sell? What is something that, if somebody has money, what are they going to buy? And it's not to say that, people don't study poverty and think, and study poverty, but they're going to be the ones that get charity. They're going to be the ones that get support from those who have become rich and who haven't done it by thinking about poverty. If you're thinking about poverty, we're right down to the next one here where we said, I'm a magnet for money, prosperity is drawn to me. You may as well say, I am not a magnet for money, poverty is drawn to me. And that's really the mindset that quite a few people already have. Most people are running around being like, I can't get any money. Money's hard to get. Money's difficult to get into my life, and wish I could have some if I had more money. Well, first of all, as we're going through this practice, do you even know what you would do with all of that money? You do now. You've got ideas of what you would do with all that money. You've got ideas of what you would do with all the money if you could just spend it. And that's what this prosperity practice is about. It's not just about what would you want. It's just get comfortable with that. And we had a lot of fun just spending the money. You took care of your bills. Everybody took care of their bills, I'm sure. Everybody paid everything off. Just about everybody I saw paid everything off in their sheets in 2 to 3 or 4 steps within this prosperity practice. So after you're prosperous, after you've done all the responsible stuff, you've gone out and had some fun, and you realize that once you make money, you figure out a formula. There's a formula there, and that formula is that you're a magnet for money, and prosperity is drawn to you. It is not. I've been thinking about poverty all the livelong day, and I've attracted all this wealth. If we look for poverty, we find more poverty. No one ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking about poverty, by Wallace D. Wattles. I'm not sure how that one's going to hit you guys, but like I said, when I first read that, when I first came across my eyeballs in The Science of Getting Rich, and I don't know if you've gotten the hint yet, but if you have not read that book yet, go get it now. You can go to archive.org. You can Google Science of Getting Rich, archive.org, and you'll be able to get the text for $0. Just download it. Hope that you've enjoyed this one. Day 28 has come to an end. We are looking right down the barrel of day 29 and 30 right after that. And then what? No and then.